Alright, this is another video about installation only of this pump and tank assembly. So I'm going to take the cover off here, if I can. Okay, there's going to be some electrical connections and some plumbing connections. The electrical connections, some of it requires a shielded twisted pair wire, which is less common. So we actually sent you that wire with it. In your kit you'll find a small shielded twisted pair wire and a larger shielded twisted pair. The small shielded twisted pair, when you strip it back, you'll get two different colored wires in it. The small one is to be connected to the float switch, which comes here in the front. All that is a open and closed contact, so we can tell if the tank is empty. So use the smaller wire for this, and the bare wire you can just snip it off. Then on your meter, this is the additive meter. In your instructions you'll see there's a number of colored wires here. We're going to use the yellow and the green, and you can cut the rest of the wires off or tape them back if you choose to. Just don't cut it all the way back to here, obviously. So the yellow and the green, you're going to take the larger shielded twisted pair wire, which again has the two different color wires and a bare wire. And it doesn't matter which color scheme you use, if you use like this or like that, as long as you hook those up. And again, the bare wire you can just cut off on this end. On the other end of the controller you'll need to land that, but on this end you can just cut it off. Then you need to find a 12 volts. I guess in this case you're going to get your 12 volts from the controller. You're going to run a 12 volts from a large source to the controller, and then from the controller you're going to run 12 volts into here. And just use a standard, we're not going to provide that wire, a standard stranded red wire recommended. And you're going to have all of these valves have two wires, they're DC. You'll find that we've already put together all of the valves and the red from the pump into this one red wire. So you're going to take your red wire from your controller and wire nut it to here, or however you want to make that connection, and this will just be a constant 12 volts. So yes, there's constantly 12 volts to these devices. The way we control the devices is by providing the ground or not providing the ground. So then you're going to have a black wire. Again, you can use any color wire, but a smaller wire from the pump controller module to the pump to this black wire, and that's going to control the pump. And you'll have one from each valve to the controller as well, and those can be black or again whatever color. But you'll have to decide if you want to start at the top with valve 1, valve 2, valve 3, and valve 4, or if you want to flip it. As long as if you call this valve 1, that tube is going to go to transport tank 1. Try to keep it all sorted that way. And in order to get the wires into the box, we did ship you a cord grip so that you can put the penetration wherever you'd like, probably up here, and all of your wires can then go through there, and it will somewhat seal it up. You're going to be in a box on the truck anyway, so it's not going to get a gushing amount of water or rain, but you can tighten that down. If you want to add a little bit of extra caulk or something in there to seal it up, by all means feel free to do so. So that takes care of your float switch has been landed, your additive meter has been landed, all of your valves and your motor have been landed. The only remaining thing is the fluid path, which again the suction's taken care of. So you're going to have to get a tube from here to compartment 1 and here to compartment 2 and so forth. Now we have sent you fittings for that, straight fittings. We sent you some 90s as well. We're not sure what you want to use. These already have Teflon tape or some sealant on them. We've also sent you, for each pump module, we sent you 100 feet of the tubing that was recommended to us. I'm not going to open this here. I've got a section, and I'll show you once you need to terminate this. You'll just cut it to whatever length, slip this on. Whoops. This center part is stuck, so you'll slide the tubing in there and then tighten it down. And then that's going to go to each injection point. Obviously you'll need to do the same thing on the other end of your injection point. And then your fluid path is taken care of once you've got all those done. So installation wise, those are the steps. You've already got it mounted, you've already got all your wires run now, and you've got your tubing. In subsequent videos I'll talk about the theory of operation, maintenance, and troubleshooting. But that's installation of the pump module. The next video will be installation of the controller.